Welcome traders, as we continue learning on new top penny stocks to trade. In today's lesson, I'm going to give you my top 4 biotech stocks to buy. And as you always hear me talk about, the story is everything. But the real question here is, where do you find these stories?
To know where to find these stories, sometimes you just can't go stock by stock. You have to work your way backwards. Well, to work backwards, Mitch, all you really have to do is pay attention to what I call the macro industry trends.
All right, traders, just stay tuned as Mitch is going to tell you exactly why these biotechs will have investors drooling over interest. And of course, like always, let's go ahead and go over the market environment. And hold on, let's get this beat started here.
Let us start talking about the pandemic. On the news, you're starting to hear panic and despair as stories of the second wave coming are arising. As you're seeing stats start pointing in the wrong direction, state by state, you're starting to see an increase in infections. Investors are starting to get that uncertainty feeling again.
You can tell we're getting to the point where some are starting to question, will we go back into lockdown? Or will the spread just simply not go away like previously thought?
Because of all this talk on the second wave, lately I found myself trying to do more research into the virus. I figured I would establish how I would do my best to inform you on how the virus COVID is really attacking the body.
Before I continue here, guys, of course, I'm not a doctor here. I could be wrong. And of course, this video is for purely educational and entertainment purposes. So let us zoom back into how the pandemic is really attacking the human body. And COVID really causes a massive inflammation to your organs. So doctors and scientists are working right now on anti-inflammatory drugs.
After there was a latest study that a common anti-inflammatory drug can potentially lower death rates.
Why is it important and how will it affect the industry?
Most investors have been investing in biotechs that could have a vaccine for the virus. Now you can see a shift in sentiment that maybe a cocktail of these drugs will be needed to combat the virus versus just simply a cure.
The truth here, guys, is that we can't wait for a cure. And this is a major important catalyst for biotechs as they make anti-inflammatory treatments.
COVID has caused a massive spin-off in many penny stocks as they look to capitalize on the opportunity at hand here. Many biotech companies have realized the anti-inflammatory treatment should be the focus. The drugs combined with the best cocktail could be the best form of treatment for a long time to come.
Sorry, as all this cocktail talk has really got me working up a thirst here. But there's a really great opportunity here as this revenue driver is really going to drive with this COVID talks.
You can really see why investors would like to jump into these stocks, as the market available to COVID right now is worldwide and in high demand. Everyone wants something or anything to do that can help COVID.
So if all these biotechs are going to go ahead and profit off of COVID, I'm going to go ahead and come up and scoop up these stocks as I go ahead and look for those pullback buys. So my first stock that's going to go ahead and capitalize on this story of demand and treatment solution is going to go ahead and be an ANPP.
Ampio Pharmaceuticals is focused on immunology-based therapies. And now, as of recent of June 19th, they released a press release talking about how they would start developing therapies for the patients with the virus. They are said to start phase 1 clinical trials on their drug, Ampion. This drug has a goal to disrupt the torrent inflammatory that happens to COVID's patients' lungs. If it can prove to be effective towards improving the outcome of patients, then we're likely to see this stock catch investors.
Now let's see the technicals and see how they line up for the trade. You can see on the daily chart that we've had that drive up, a pull back, another drive, a pull back, followed by a drive. I'm going to be looking for this to pull back a little bit, maybe touch 50, but then really take off towards $1. So what I also like is this big volume pop that we got in here, along with the crossover in the MACD. The overall outlook here is that the potential of the COVID treatment is really going to cause investors' interest to spike. And what I also like about this stock is that it's so low in price, and I mean dirt cheap. This is what I call a real penny stock.
Now let's go ahead and jump into Vergu. I think this is truly where you're going to see some investors jump on big.
This stock has two major factors that are leading the positive sentiment. First is the company's focus, Verdu 111.
They have already shown great results in their advanced prostate cancer trials, but the second leading sentiment is that they're saying that the candidate potential is going even further.
You see, this is really catching investors by surprise. Many really saw the benefits in prostate cancer, but just really didn't see this stock going into COVID. But then again, who really did?
Now that the company looks to capitalize on its candidate going into their phase 2 study on COVID-19 patients with high risk of ARDS, or acute respiratory distress syndrome, we can tell how the company is ready to jump at the opportunity of their phase 2 press release, where it states, "It's clear that new, more effective drugs are needed to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. We are both excited to lead the efforts and evaluate a novel drug like Vergu 111. Vergu 111 has the potential for both antiviral and anti-inflammatory treatments of patients infected with COVID and who are also at high risk for acute respiratory distress syndrome."
Now that we've heard from the phase 2 result, let's go ahead and jump to the charts and define the trade. Verdu is exactly why I use a weekly chart. I'm going to be looking for a small little pullback for it to hold that 325 bottom and then really get that lift up there to 5.
This stock has a stock rating right now of $7 price target. That would mean an upside of 102 upside percent look. You can clearly see the 3 strong buy ratings. Even you have one analyst rating the stock as high as $9.
All this does is really just lead to opportunity. As more and more biotechs go ahead and jump at the opportunity, we're going to go ahead and capture that investor's interest and ride that buying wave. All right, team, it's time to go ahead and start giving you the best stocks of the week. But before I go ahead and give you a stock with a $16 price outlook, let's go ahead and hit that stunning like button for me. All right, traders, let's go ahead and get back to the gold here. Now we're gonna go ahead and look at a stock here that investors are actually looking at the story within.
Yet, don't be fooled by this company sitting at a great evaluation. This stock, AVXL, developed treatments for severe and neurological disorders that mainly focus on Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, and Rett syndrome. They are scheduled to release top-line results in their Rett syndrome clinical phase 2 trial in the second half of 2020. Let's go ahead and see what we can see from the chart and find out.
To show you a clear picture of AVXL, you can clearly see this drive up back in 2016, and I actually pulled the monthly chart to show you this, and you can see this downtrend come all the way to this level. Let's see if it's really going to get strength around this level.
The best part of this stock is when we get to the ratings. We have 4 buy ratings here, with an average price rating of $11.50. One analyst even giving them a price target of $16. While I don't see $16 in the work, I could very much see this stock be at $11 or $12 stock. So that would represent an upside outlook of 139%.
Overall, the positive clinical phase 2 trial are really going to go ahead and increase the investor's confidence. And as the company keeps nailing these results, you're just going to go ahead and see the company grow. And traders, it's time to go ahead and look at the last stock of the night as the waves are coming out with this one. And we're going to go ahead and going to have to get the swimming trunks ready, guys.
As we're going to go ahead and look for investors to go ahead and surf, or Surface Oncology, that is. Surface Oncology is a story about involving yourself with a market giant. They entered into clinical trial collaboration with Merck or MRK, and this really gave them the synergy that they need moving forward with Surface's candidate SRF617, and this is their antibody therapy. Their goal being to promote anti-tumor immunity, and they're also working to release data on efficiency combined with Abraxane for pancreatic cancer. This have said to have stated the results to come out at the end of the year.
Let's check this chart on Surf out. Surf, this is one stock that I feel like you're gonna see the retail traders just get washed out here as the stock comes back down closer towards this 350 and the 50 EMA, that's that blue line you see here, and then really takes off. All right, traders, don't you go anywhere as we go ahead and review all 4 stocks.
First, we have ANPP, and we will have to see how their phase 1 clinical trials on their drug Ambien go. Second would be our top pick in this field, Veryu, as they're showing signs of promise to be a treatment for COVID patients with ARDS. Then we move on to AVXL. They had promising clinical trials in 2 major areas, in Alzheimer's and Rett syndrome. The potential in this stock is clear as the analysts are wildly bullish. Lastly, we took a look at surfing, or kind of surf oncology. This stock has already been on the move as multiple big analysts are bullish as they work their partnership with Merck.
All right, traders, let's hope this cocktail approach can combat this virus. And remember, traders, these are stocks that have stories working for them, and you always have to do your research. And like always, you need to work on timing the trade.
I always use a pullback method off the daily support. Like always, measure your risk to reward and remember to keep up with the stories.
Hey traders, if you like these biotechs and penny stocks and investment outlooks, go ahead and hit that subscribe below and the bell next to it as we go ahead and bring you the absolute best stories in the penny stock world. And like always, guys, I do my hours of research, so go ahead and support me supporting you and smash that like button. Hey traders, don't forget, if you want to go ahead and see me trade these tickers and more live, then join us on our live stream, and I'll see you guys next time as we go over the video to the results of the top 3 penny stocks of the month of June. And like always, traders, don't forget that you just might be the next trader to find the next story to profit from.